Hello and welcome to the Signal Halifax, here at the University of King's College on a beautiful winter day. We're located on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq. I'm your host, Marissa Burney. Coming up on the show, we'll find out the meaning behind these messages. Winter hiking is on the rise. The top 5 facts about a town called the hub of Nova Scotia, and flying during the pandemic. But first, a nurse in Prince Edward Island walks us through new COVID protocols. Omicron cases are on the rise, and seniors in long-term care are at risk. Hannah Bryanton reports.
The province announced new measures for staff and residents in long-term care facilities across the island. Becky Lupish is a nurse at Andrews of Stratford Senior Care Home. She finds it difficult to keep up with the ever-changing restrictions.
We used to have no masks and no goggles. We now have to wear those at all times. If we go into somebody's room that is positive or has a positive rapid test, we have to put on a gown and gloves and all those things. We have to do rapid tests on ourselves twice a week. We do our temperature twice a day. We sign in, we answer questions about whether we've been in contact with people. We sanitize our equipment that we're receiving. There's nothing that hasn't changed.
3 senior care homes across the province are now reporting COVID outbreaks. 49 cases as of January 17th.
Given there are 2 outbreaks at long-term care facilities and 1 at a community care facility, we've had to modify the visitation guidelines. Staff in long-term care, regardless of their vaccine status, are tested multiple times each week using rapid antigen screening tests.
Lupish says the people she cares for are her top priority.
They are troopers, actually. Most of them are just happy that we are making sure that they're safe.
Hannah Bryanton, The Signal, Charlottetown.
The word on the street in downtown Dartmouth is uplifting. You just have to know where to look. A community project offers encouraging messages. Our reporter Will McLernan has the inside scoop.
If you cross the Halifax Harbour and take a stroll in Dartmouth, you might find inspiration. In large, bold font. Be kind. Love our earth. What will today bring? The murals are part of a project by the Downtown Dartmouth Business Commission. CEO Tim Rosesco says it's a way to keep the community connected during the pandemic.
We also wanted to find a way to inspire the community during the grayest days of the lockdown.
14 word messages popped up in downtown streets. Some are easy to find, but others require you to pay close attention.
And people gravitated to them. Some people took it as an opportunity to do a scavenger hunt. And other people remarked to us that they would accidentally find a word mural on a particularly difficult day, and it would inspire them.
Originally, the murals were only meant to stay up for 2 years. But positive feedback leads Rosecco to believe some quotes might stay up for longer. The pandemic has brought gloomy days for all of us. But if you're in downtown Dartmouth, keep your head up and you may find some hidden positivity. For The Signal, I'm Will McLernan.
Another winter with COVID restrictions. Despite the cold, more Canadians are getting outside. A winter hiker in Halifax says it's better than being cooped up inside. Victoria Welland reports.
Mark Guzik is one of many Canadians braving the snow and ice to get fresh air during the pandemic. We met at the Bluff Wilderness Trail, only a 20-minute drive from downtown Halifax.
But last winter, I was just like, you know what, enough is enough. I need to try and get out. So I went out and bought these and started hiking in the winter, and it was fantastic. So many beautiful sights.
Guzik uses special footwear to gain traction on the ice.
Well, a lot of people call them crampons. I just call them ice grips. They do the trick.
According to a 2020 survey from Trans-Canada Trail, winter hiking is on the rise. Trail use is up 50%. And over 2/3 of those surveyed said they'll keep using the trails in the winter months.
But yeah, the pandemic did play a part in my decision to get out and hike in the winter. Again, with mental health and making myself feel better. And it really helped.
From a piece of German history to a deer population out of control, Kaylee Addis brings us 5 surprising facts about Truro, Nova Scotia.
Number 1. Truro is called the hub of Nova Scotia. It's home to Victoria Park, a popular spot for people and dogs.
The park showcases waterfalls, streams, and over 75 kilometers of trails.
Number 2. You can find a piece of German history if you know where to look. After the Berlin Wall fell in 1989, 54,000 fragments ended up around the world, including here in Truro.
Number 3. Truro is home to a historic Black community that dates back to the mid-1800s. Number 4. Truro neighbors the Millbrook First Nation. The Mi'kmaq word for this place? It means the bay runs far up. Number 5. Wild deer love Truro. In fact, too many deer. Truro will soon hold a deer hunt in town, the first of its kind in Canada.
And finally, traveling in a pandemic. It's a mix of COVID protocols and crowded flights. Cam Towner recorded his journey through Canada's busiest airport.
For your safety, access to Toronto Pearson is restricted to traveling passengers and airport employees only.
This is me. Like many university students, I went home for the holidays and now have to get back to Halifax for the winter semester. But first, I need to make it through Canada's busiest airport, Pearson International in Toronto. Despite how busy it sounds, Pearson has seen a dramatic drop in the number of travelers this past year, servicing almost 90% less people compared to 2020.
Let's see, D22. Is that way? No. This way.
I already sent my proof of vaccination online to my airline. Anyone over the age of 12 needs to be fully vaccinated to board a plane in Canada. Physical distancing cuts the number of seats in half. Still, travelers find a place, wherever possible, to rest and wait out our delayed flight. Now, masks are mandatory, so I'm surprised we have to pull them down in order to get on the plane.
Once you reach the board agents here, so we can verify against your government-issued photo ID.
I board the plane and watch the seats fill with passengers, elbow to elbow. No physical distancing here, I guess. After the usual safety seminars, plus one announcement about the importance of face masks, we're ready for takeoff.
We thank you for wearing your face covering while on board with us today.
Once we reach cruising altitude, attendants hand out little COVID prevention kits. The items we're all familiar with by now. Shortly followed by the drink cart. Now, I know planes are supposed to have better ventilation than most places we go, but is it really worth pulling my mask down for just a sip of water? Well, maybe if I'm quick.
Have a good evening.
The Halifax International Airport corrals arriving passengers to a COVID testing table. Here, everyone can get a free rapid test kit. But, not everyone takes one. And like the rest of almost 40% of university students who come from out of province, I arrived back in Halifax confused, as the weather changes from snow to rain, and then snow again, and then I guess rain. I don't know.
That's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Marissa Burney. You can find us online at signalhfx.ca. We'll see you next week.